Hello everyone, welcome to the live stream if you're watching this right now. I wasn't planning to go live today, but I started listing postcards, so I figured I might as well go live. Didn't have anything better to do today. And I will probably give it a few minutes before I start listing, just because I'm using OBS listing software, or not listing software, OBS streaming software instead of StreamYard, and I think it's going to be a lot better, but I just want to make sure that everything looks all right before I start actually listing. So I'm going to make sure that I am live and that it looks good. Okay, yeah, it actually looks pretty good. So as you can see on the screen, you should be able to read everything. I mean, it's so hard with, because I use 3 screens to list normally, and it's really hard to put everything on one screen, but you should, yeah, be able to see pretty much everything that I do while I'm listing. So, and I have the chat on my other screen too, so feel free to use the chat, but I'll pretty much just be doing my normal listing and talking about the postcards and why I'm pricing them the way that I'm pricing them. I've already got them all loaded up as drafts, and I have them all titled, so all that is left to do is price the postcards, and you'll be able to see me research the cards and how I determine the price and all that. Thank you everyone for joining. I know it's been several weeks since I last streamed. I got extra busy at the beginning of this year. I took on extra work that I wasn't planning on taking on, and it's been really nice to have the extra money, but that just means that I haven't been able to do as much listing or as much streaming on YouTube, unfortunately, but hopefully in the near future I'll have more time to stream, or I'll be able to make more time to stream. But again, thanks everyone who's in the stream. Okay, Mr. Greedsteed said there's an echo. That's not too surprising since I'm using a new setup. Let me see if I have any settings I can change. 1 second here. Oh my god. Okay. Let's see. I think how I fixed the echo on the last one was I ended up turning off all of the echo cancellation features. Okay, let's see. All of the echo cancellation. Audio monitoring. Okay, let's see. All of the echo cancellation. Audio monitoring. Okay. Let's see. I'm going into properties. On my mic. Enable down mixing. I don't know what that is. I'll uncheck that and see if that does anything. Down mixing. I don't know what that is. I'll uncheck that. Okay, let me know if the audio sounds any different. I unchecked a thing to enable down mixing. I don't know what that means. I'm going to see if there's any more properties. I don't know what audio properties. Okay, I can change every. I can change pretty much every setting here with the mic. There shouldn't be really any setting here with the mic. There shouldn't be really any setting here with the mic. There shouldn't be really any. Okay. Okay. Monitor. I changed another setting on the mic. Okay. Monitor. I changed another setting on the mic. Okay. Monitor. Okay. Let's see. Okay. I'll go to properties again. Let's see. Just enable down mixing again. I'll go to filters. Okay. Audio filters. There's nothing there. Let's see. I can do a noise suppression. I don't know if that works. Limiter. Invert polarity. There's a lot of settings here. Limiter. Invert polarity. There's a lot of settings here. Okay, I'm doing a noise suppression. Let me know if that sounds any better. I'm doing a noise suppression. Sorry, I want to get the audio right, and this is my first time echoing and repeating. Well, I think I know what the repeating was from. Echoing and repeating. Well, I think I know what the repeating. This is very annoying. Sorry, everyone. This is very annoying. Sorry, everyone. Okay, that's ridiculous. Settings. That's ridiculous. Okay, I'm gonna do monitor off. Maybe that'll get rid of the repeating. Okay, I'm gonna do monitor off. Maybe that'll get rid of the filters. I have this noise suppression filter on. I'm just gonna delete it. I don't think it was doing anything. I have this noise suppression filter on. Okay, let me just search mic echoing in OBS and see if there's OBS, sorry, in OBS and see if there's. Well, it's not picking up that. Sorry. Well, it's not picking up that. Well, it's not picking up that. Okay. Settings advanced audio monitoring device. Settings advanced audio monitoring device. Settings advanced audio monitoring device. Settings advanced. No, yeah, computer sound is completely off. I'm in the audio settings for OBS right now to try to figure out why it's echoing. It shouldn't be. I mean, it's just the default, whatever is going into my microphone is what's playing, so it's really annoying that it's echoing. Whatever is going into my microphone is what's playing. Monitoring device. Whatever is going into my microphone is what's playing. Monitoring device. Turn monitoring off. Turn monitoring off. Okay, I'm going to change this monitoring device. I don't know what it means, but... Okay, I'm going to change this monitoring device. I don't know what it means. Okay, let me know if that does anything, if that sounds any better. I'm just poking around here in the audio settings, trying to fix it. Oh, it's good now. Okay. Can anyone else confirm that the audio is good now? That would be incredible. I changed some... That would be monitoring device. Echo is back. I changed some. That would be monitoring. Why was it gone for a second? Okay, I'm still in here in audio settings. I don't really see anything else. Audio settings. I don't really see anything else. Audio settings. I don't really see anything else. Okay, let's see. Settings advanced. The common issue with Echo is that you're capturing a device and then sending your monitor output to a device that is being captured. Capturing a device and then sending your monitor output to a device that is being captured. Okay, maybe. Okay, maybe. Okay, maybe. I have no idea what these settings are. I've disabled my desktop audio. Nothing's coming through my computer. Mic is set to the mic I'm using right now. Nothing's coming through my computer. Let's see, stream settings. No. Let's see, stream settings. Well, I can't really change that anyway while I'm live. Well, I can't really change audio bitrate. I don't think I can change that again while I'm live. Audio bitrate. I don't think I can. Encoder. While I'm live. I have no idea what that means. It's almost like a tunnel echo. I have no idea what that means. It's almost like a tunnel echo. I have no idea what that means. It's almost like a tunnel echo. It's almost like a tunnel echo. Okay, let's see. I don't know what all these settings are. Well, you can't. Sorry, you can't see the settings anyway. I don't know what all these settings are. Well, you can't. Sorry, okay. You can't see. Let me go back to Google. See if we can find. Thanks everyone who, the 2 or 3 people that are watching. Thank you for sticking with me. I'm trying to get this audio fixed because I know audio. Let's see. Get this audio fixed because I know audio. I have desktop audio off. I have desktop audio off. I have desktop audio off. If the desktop source is not monitored, then you can only get a single echo. If the desktop source is not monitored, then you can only get a single echo. If the desktop source is not monitored, then you can only get a single echo. If the desktop source is not monitored, then you can only get a single echo. Maybe reboot the stream. Yeah, I can try that. I just don't know. Well, I mean, I'd have to like
Yeah, I
reschedule
can
the stream
try
and
that. I
everything.
just don't know.
Well, I mean, I'd have to like
Yeah, I
reschedule the
can
stream
try
and
that. I
everything.
just don't know.
But other than
Well,
that, I mean,
I mean,
everything looks good. But other than that, I
okay.
mean, everything looks good. Desktop audio disabled. Mic auxiliary audio is set to my mic. Desktop audio disabled. Mic auxiliary audio is set to maybe I need to mute it here. Let me know if you can still hear me. Here. You probably can't hear me. Still hear me? Here. You probably can't hear me. Okay. Oh, I think I figured it out. Maybe. Okay. Oh, I think I figured it out. Okay. Can you still hear me? Let me know. Okay. I'll wait a few seconds. Okay. Second question. Am I still echoing? I'll wait a few more seconds. I am still echoing? Damn it, God. Okay. My paper out said it's not the same echo, but it's still an echo. I'm going to take that off. Okay. Well, I think I had the audio source on here. Sounds like a robot. More like reverb, but it is fine. Different, tighter echo. Great. I have the audio source on here. Oh, shit. Okay. Let me know if I am echoing now. Or if, let me know if the audio sounds good, or if I am still echoing. Better. It's good now, says my paper out. Okay. Okay, it should be good now. For some reason, it had the audio source on here like 2 times, so it was a simple fix. I just had to delete one of them. Thanks for sticking with me, everyone. Okay, I'm so glad it sounds good now, because audio, I hate having audio issues. And I'll make sure to listen to this back to see exactly how bad it was. I trust you all aren't lying to me and just trying to make me feel better. As long as it sounds passable right now and there's no echo, I'm totally fine. Okay. Thanks everyone for sticking with me. I promise it will be worth it. I have some good postcards to talk about and some yeah, well that's pretty much it. That's pretty much what I do here. But yeah, I have some really good postcards to list. So before I get started listing, to talk a little bit about my setup, before with Restream, I was only able to have. Sorry, let me make sure the stream on YouTube is still working good. Just got a little paranoid about that. Okay, 11 people watching. That's pretty cool. Need to be louder. Have my volume maxed. Well, don't worry about that because I have a little slider. I can just slide up to make myself louder. So that should be a little louder. It has like a green, yellow, and red, and I tried to make it so I was only in the green, but I made it a little higher, so I'm now in the yellow too. Anyway, let me know if that's too loud. Can make it a little bit louder, softer, whatever. But these postcards that I have that I am listing today, I bought from a collection, and this collection was actually, and I was gonna make a. I don't think I'm gonna. I don't know. I don't really want to do members videos anytime soon, so I'll just make this a little what I would have done if I did a members video. I bought this postcard collection on eBay, believe it or not. I do have alerts set for different things I collect, but also like postcard lots, postcard collections, things like that. This one was up for a day or two, and um, the person who listed it made it with a starting bid, but they also made a buy it now price. And it was pretty pricey, which is why I think it was up for long enough before, and I was able to get it. But there were, so I did bid on it, but then I decided I wanted to buy it now instead. It was about 650 postcards, and um, the the starting bid price was like $550, $600, right around in there. and I placed a bid, but they had a buy it now price at like 900 and something dollars. And me and another person placed a bid. So the buy it now option went away, but I kind of regretted not buying it now. I thought there was a pretty good chance that it could go for less than the buy it now price, but I didn't want to risk it. So I messaged the seller and I said, "Hey, I'm interested in buying this at the buy it now price you had listed. Would you be willing to end the auction if I'm willing to buy it now?" And the buy it now price was $975, but they had a 10% off coupon in their store, so it ended up being like $890, something like that. So anyway, the seller said, "Yeah, I'd be happy to sell it to you," because that's, I mean, basically the maximum they were hoping to get was their buy it now price. And it was like $1.50 a postcard, which is pretty good for a large album or collection. But and again, I could have risked it and maybe gotten it for like $600 and saved myself almost $300, but I didn't want to risk these cards getting away. And what I would have talked about in the members video that I am not going to make is that I think there's a lot of opportunity out there for those that are willing to pay up for postcards. And if you know a lot about a certain place or artist or holiday, whatever topic, then there are good opportunities for you to buy cards at what other people may consider high prices. Because if you're trying to buy postcard lots or collections at 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 cents each, there's a lot of competition at those price levels. And people don't necessarily need to know a lot about the cards to be willing to pay that price. I mean, if you're talking about a, run-of-the-mill nice postcard collection where most are common cards, but 10 to 20% are less common that you can sell for $10, $20, maybe some a little bit more, there's not much risk in paying like 20 to 25 cents a card. But when you're paying $1.50 a card like I did with this collection, you really have to be pretty sure that you're going to be able to make your money back and that it's going to be a good investment. So it naturally limits the pool of potential buyers for a collection or a lot. So I've kind of grown to more like, or I like more, buying the nicer stuff that may be a little bit more expensive, that maybe not everybody knows exactly what the stuff is like. But one of the reasons too why I paid so much for this, it was an album of mostly Southern postcards, and I list more postcards from the South than from any other region, and I know them very, very well. So I feel like I had the knowledge to make an informed, uh, you know, purchasing decision that other interested buyers may not have been able to make if they weren't as familiar with Southern postcards. Sorry for that huge sidebar, ramble, whatever you want to call it, but if you have any questions, just let me know. Just wanted to do a little explainer about where these cards came from. And yeah, I paid $1.50 per card. So every card you see that I'm listing today is from that collection that I paid $1.50 per card. I'm listing pretty much every postcard from the collection. So normally with other collections I don't list every card, but with this one, not only were all the cards pretty good, the ones that, I mean, even the ones that weren't like incredible, I think are still going to sell for $4 to $5 or whatever. So anyway, let's jump into it. I have mostly Georgia. I did organize the collection by state after I pulled it out of the album. And there's the miscellaneous states are at the beginning, and then we start on Georgia. And I did put it in alphabetical order too, actually. So we've got a North Carolina and some Alabama before we get into Georgia, but let's get started. And I think I can, let me see if I can put your comment on the screen. Oh, I can pin it. Oh, I can't put it on the screen. Well, there might be a way to do that, but I don't know how to do that in OBS. But Greed's Deeds said that's what I've been doing, buying more expensive collections for better quality ones. The first card I have here is and yeah, you can see the card, bottom left of the screen. And I'll have to pull it up just so I can see it myself. But this is the railroad station in Hendersonville, North Carolina. Let me move that a little bit over so I can see the chat still. Yeah, Hendersonville is not a super small town, but this is a pretty nice card. So I'm going to just search Station Hendersonville. And let me open up my listing tools there. Let's make sure it's railroad. So I think eBay, actually I can probably just put station in parentheses. Or not parentheses, in quotation marks. Because it's giving me all Hendersonville, North Carolina cars right now. Yeah. And then I already searched for it on Terapeak. But this is the same card. It was, okay, so that is last year. Sold for $17 at auction. And it sold again $8.95 the year before. So I'm probably going to just do $19.95 and hope I'll get around that. I'll go ahead and search Worth Point too. Why not? Yeah, just the same stuff in Worth Point. So not a crazy card, but I think I can get about $20 out of it. And the next card is, and I don't know what, I was going to put that in my title, but I don't really know. I don't really want to take the time to look up what that is. The Nashville Commandery #1 KT. It might be some like fraternal organization, but I'm just going to base it off of the view. And I can't remember having seen this. Yeah. So I lived in the Nashville area for a while, and I didn't really collect Nashville, but I happened to get a lot of Nashville cards because I went to the Postcard show there, and I bought from some collectors in the area. So I've sold a lot of Nashville cards, and I couldn't remember having seen this one right here. It looks like it's sold a few times. This is the same building, but a different, that's a colored postcard. The exact same card as mine sold. I mean, it doesn't have the compliments of the Nashville Commandery, whatever that means. But that one sold for $12 last year, so $14.95 is what I'm probably going to price this one at, unless, yeah, that one was $14. That one actually might have been my card too. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, that one, no, that one wasn't my card based on the title. I know that wasn't mine. I'm going to search Nashville Commandery KT and see if I can. It's probably not going to add any value, but Knights Templar. Yeah, Knights Templar. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just add Knights Templar. Templar, I don't know. And then I'm going to search Knights Templar Nashville and see if anything comes up. Probably still going to price it the same. I don't know. This one could sell really fast and I could be kicking myself. But I don't think it really adds a ton of value. So I'm just going to do $14.95 on that one. And I have some cards from Dothan, Alabama. The next, like 5 or 4 are from Dothan, Alabama. First one is a school. And Alabama small towns do really well. Actually, I don't really know a small town in Alabama that doesn't do very well. Although, let's see. There's some up of the school in Dothan. Just going to make sure we're only getting schools. And add postcard for good measure. Okay, 23 out here. But this one is a different building and a later postcard. This one is the same building, but it's a later postcard. So, I don't know. I'm thinking, I mean, I'll have to see what they've sold for, if anything, but I'm thinking maybe $10. Let's see, that one sold for $15. That's a different school. This is the same school, and it sold for $10. Look at that. I might do $12.95 just to give myself room to accept offers, but yeah, there are other postcards out there of this school. Where was it? Right. Where was it? Did I miss it? Oh, right here, but this is probably 20s or so. And that is a pretty nice. I might go $14.95. I'm feeling Feeling a little crazy today. Gonna go $14.95. Greedsteed said, "Have you ever used AI to price and research?" No, from what? I mean, I guess you could ask like ChatGPT what to price it at, but there aren't really any listing tools that I know of for pricing and researching postcards. The AI listing tools that I know of are the... Oh, sorry, didn't go to the next one. The AI listing tools that I know of are basically just title generation tools. And I have asked ChatGPT before, like, what should I list this card at? And it sometimes is fairly accurate, but a lot of times not really. So yeah, not really seeing anything out here for the railroad yards in Dothan, Alabama. Which 3 out of the 4 of these cards spelled the name of the town wrong. Okay, it did sell for $27 in 2016 according to WorthPoint. But I want a more recent something to see what the town of Dothan is overall going for. So I'm just going to search for Dothan and price my card based on what... Oh, shoot. $220 for an RPPC. So there's definitely demand out there for Dothan. That was in 2023, though, so things could be different. This Klein card sold for $67 last year. That's a... I think I might be able to get... Oh, that's Midland City. Haven't seen any Dothan printed cards yet, so... Okay, this is a Dothan... I mean, I think my card... That's a pretty cool card, but I think I could get more than that one. I haven't really seen any nice Dothan printed cards. At least of, like, you know, a railroad or something. But there are some... Okay, this is a view on West Main Street. Again, not like stores or anything. Those are just kind of houses. So this one is being a little bit more difficult. I mean, if I have one of a church or a house, I'd probably price it around $20. But the railroad yards, I think I can get a little bit more. I'm thinking maybe $40. But there aren't really any printed cards that have sold in that range. And that's near Dothan, but not Dothan. Yeah, the only other one... I mean, the RPPCs have sold really well, but I don't know if somebody's going to be willing to pay the same for a really nice printed card as they are an RPPC, even though it's not a super old real photo postcard. Okay, that one sold for $36. $34.95 in 2012. That's the same card as mine. I think I'm just going to go $39.95, and I think that's a pretty good price. Okay, now I have another one from Dothan. Well, actually 2 more, I think. Whoops, not priority, ground advantage. Fart Sack Jack said, hey, welcome in, Mr. Fart. This next one is a view from the courthouse, and I think that's a church. I don't think that's... Obviously, it says view from the courthouse, so the courthouse should not be included. But, I mean, there's always possible it's an error. But this was the only card that spelled the name of the town right, so... This is a church. I mean, probably $20. We'll see. And I'm just putting courthouse because people spell bird's eye different ways. Okay, is that an old card? No. I was going to say $8.75, and for it to still be listed as... Like, I would think an older postcard of the courthouse would sell for more than $8. Yeah, we don't... Okay, that's an older one, but this is... Oh, this is Dothan, Alabama. Okay. I'm thinking $20 on this one. Let me just see if there's any bird's eye views listed. No. See if any have sold. I like to give it time to think. Yeah, one sold for $12.50 in 2016. Yeah, $24.99. I'm thinking about $19.95 is what I'm gonna go. And yeah, I'll just... No reason to waste time. Yeah, okay. Church, and again, probably about $20 because I saw those other churches sell for around $20, and churches aren't... I mean, you know, People don't. If you go to the church, then you'll probably think it's really cool. But other than that, like if you just collect the town, you're not gonna be like, oh hell yeah, the church. I've been waiting to get a postcard of a church. People just aren't that excited about church postcards. No offense to church people. Let's see. I mean, I have some churches. Like I collect Athens, and I have a good number of churches in Athens, but they just don't. These sold for $24.95 at auction. Um, I mean, honestly, I think that's the same church right there as the one on mine. Uh, I think my card is just better quality than if you're looking for a postcard of the church. I might do $29.95 on this one, but if I do that, I feel like I should price the bird's eye view one higher. Um, Shoot. It's the Foster Street ME Church that sold for $24.95 just a couple months ago at auction. But there were two bids. So it sold at the starting price, but the person raised their bid. So they probably bid what, 30, 35, 40 bucks. That's a different church, but same style as my card. Shoot. I don't usually like to price things at $29.95. I think I'm just gonna raise these up a little bit, and I'm gonna raise this one up a little bit too, just because it's not currently. There's nothing currently listed from. There's no view like that currently listed, is what I'm trying to say. And I might have to take offers, but I'd rather price on the higher side than price too low. And those other churches, again, that we saw sell a couple months ago, somebody was protecting their bid at $25. So I don't think it's crazy to think they could have been bidding in the $30 to $35 range. But if they sent me an offer for $30 for that card, I would probably take it. And now we're moving on to another Alabama town. I don't know how to say it. Eufaula. See Brennan College for Women in Eufaula. And we have a lot, like I said at the beginning, if you weren't here, a lot of Georgia cards listed today. I don't know if Brennan is right. That could be a misspelling based on all the errors I've seen on these cards, so I could be spelling it wrong, and I'll Google it in a second. Might be Bernal. Yeah. Bernal. No, I'm not thinking of Bernal College in Gainesville, Georgia. AI, I hate AI. I hate it. It's so stupid. So stupid. I'm not thinking of a college in Gainesville, Georgia, obviously. Bernal opened, Alabama Bernal. The campus of a failed women's college. Okay. So this obviously wasn't around very long. But it is Bernal. So that's really all I need to know. I don't need to read about the history of the college. I had a feeling it might be spelled wrong. Okay, Bernal. I'll just search Bernal College. And there is this really generic one that was sent there, but nothing else. So this college probably wasn't around very long, which could mean that they're worth a little bit more. One postcard sold from this college for $22 last year. That's the only thing in the last 3 years, though. This is I think mine, I am obviously biased, but I think mine is the cooler view. Just because you can see more buildings, and it's an Albert type, which means it's a higher quality printing. So I'm probably thinking like $39.95, just because there hasn't been much out here from this college. And it looks like one sold all the way back in 2013 for $58. We got 55 in 2018, 46 in 2019. This is actually the same view as mine, just a different quality printing, but it's the exact same view, sold for 46. So I'm gonna go $49.95 on this one. And I have another one from this college too. No, I don't. Sorry, that was a lie. I wish. But no, it appears that this college is pretty, there's not much out there from this college. So I'm just going to price it high. And I think it could reasonably sell for that amount. That's pretty much how I decide my prices, is what I could reasonably sell it for. And I know I've gotten better at pricing my things pretty good, but there are some people that would price higher than me. There's some people that would price lower than me. You can make arguments for both. You could say there's no postcard currently listed, so you might be able to get $60 to $70 for that card, and that might be true. But you could also say the last postcard that sold from that college only went for $22. So you're probably going to get, $20, $30 for it. And that also might be true. But I price at the basically higher end of what I reasonably think I might be able to get for the card. The next one is from the same town. It's a bridge over the Chattahoochee. You may have heard of the Chattahoochee from the famous song. What is it? Colder. Wait, I have no idea. Something than a hoochie coochie. I there's some song with the Chattahoochee River, but and this is a covered bridge, which is pretty cool. Did I add that to the title? I should add that to the title. Might have to take something out. Let me see. Covered. There we go. Covered bridge over the Chattahoochee River. That covered bridge is probably no longer around, so okay, there is a bridge. That bridge might have taken the place. This might be in the same spot, or it might be in a different spot. Yeah, nothing else. Chattahoochee Eufaula. But I mean, bridges don't sell for a crazy amount usually. But if this is a bridge that's no longer around, and okay, that's the same bridge. That one sold for $17.95 several years ago. This is a different bridge. I'm thinking $20, but maybe higher. Okay, this one sold for $37, and this is more like my card because this is an Albert type, and it's the same view as mine. This one is just a slightly different view. So I'm gonna price mine based off of this comp right here, even though it is from 2017, and I don't know for sure that I can still get that. I'm probably going to go $39.95. I'll just look overall for the town to see if I'm not pricing that super out of line or anything. I mean, somebody paid $30 for this Chrome postcard, Continental Chrome postcard, a couple years ago. So it doesn't really look like there's been much older cards listed from Eufaula. Assuming I'm saying that right. That's a nice older card though. $27.96, $22.50. I have the same card too, but I think I can get more than $22.50 for that. I'm gonna do $39.95 on this bridge. And if you don't know, if I haven't said before, well, I know I've said before. If you if you haven't watched the video where I said before that I send offers immediately after listing, I did change it from 15% to 10% recently, but I do send offers like a day after listing, so I price to give myself a little margin there. The next one is that one that we saw sold for $22.50. It's a really cool card, but it doesn't look like there's a ton of demand out there for Eufaula. So I'll probably honestly price it less than the defunct college. But let's see. Broad Street. Let's see. Broad Street. It is the Confederate Monument, which, they aren't as collectible as they were a few years ago when they were taking more of them down. But there's still people out there that collect Confederate monuments, and this is probably a fairly uncommon one. This card has sold twice in the last year. It sold for $8, just a week ago, and it sold for $22.50 last year. I mean, I don't think I can get. I might just do $19.95 on this one. As crazy as it sounds. Yeah, this card did sell for $52 in 2016. And yeah, 35 in 2016, 52, 35, and then we have 22, and then we have 16 for a really similar one. So it could just be that everybody, let me just look at the last one again. I think this is a more uncommon card, and I'm fine with pricing it higher, even though this one is kind of the better view. This one also has some damage on it. I'm gonna go 1995, but I am gonna turn off offers on it because it sold last year for 22.50, so there's no reason for me to accept more than the 10% off that I send on a card that, you know, I'm the only one out there currently, or I'm going to be the only one out there. The next two are really cool, also from Alabama. Well, this one isn't as cool as the next one, but it says Creek and Picnic Grounds, Borden-Wheeler Springs, Alabama. It was a small town, and there were towns like this in the South that had like a mineral springs where people would go if they needed some healing. Yeah, there are a lot of like hotels created in mineral springs that supposedly had healing properties, and they were really popular destinations for people. And you can see, well, I need to take resort out. It was a resort, but yeah, so you can see here they're selling really well, or at least according to WorthPoint. See if they still. Borden-Wheeler Springs, Alabama. This one obviously is not going to go for as much as my next one, and it looks like the market may be a little bit softer, or people just aren't listing as good of cards. And I think it is the latter, maybe, hopefully. Well, this one is the other one I have. It only sold for $15 in 2023. This one sold for $32. Let's see. I'll just search Borden-Wheeler. Maybe somebody didn't put Springs. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't look like they've sold for a ton over the last 3 years. Looks like before that they were selling for more. So maybe they're just not in as high demand anymore. This one is the next card I have. Sold for $130 in 2018 according to this. And also $99 in 2018. Maybe it actually that's the same. No, that is a different card. That's interesting. They both sold on the same day according to WorthPoint. I don't think I'm going to be able to get that. I think the market has softened for this town Springs area. And this one did sell for the boring one. I think this is boring. This one sold for $32.75 a couple years ago. So I'm going to price mine at $39.95 for that one. And I'll probably price the hotel a little bit more. I mean, it does look like the market has softened on this area, but also there's nothing currently listed, so somebody could be willing to pay a little bit more and have been waiting for a card to go up. The last one too, well, there were those that have sold last year for $9.99 at auction. That's not a great sign. And that one, this is a later card. It's probably not a good comp. But this one sold for just $9.99. Lise, let me see. We got a few more chats here. Lise said, howdy from San Antonio. And I did see an entire collection of church postcards once at a vintage store. It may have been all from one state. I didn't notice. I was just amazed at seeing 50 church postcards altogether. Yeah, there's probably people who do collect church postcards. Like if you're a minister of a certain type of church, then you'd probably be inclined to collect them maybe if you also collect postcards. This one, what do I price this one at? Let me know if you have any thoughts of what I should price this postcard at. The highest we have from this area is $32.75, but this is of the hotel. I'm thinking $50 because it has this exact card sold for, according to WorthPoint, $130 and $99 in 2018, and a different view sold for $128 in 2021. So I don't think it's crazy to price this one at $50. Do I do $60 and just, and this card does have some damage. Maybe I just do $49.95. Let me know if you have any thoughts on that card. That one's a little bit more difficult to price. Just because it's thinly traded, to use a stock term. I think 49. I mean, this is of the hotel, and there are these. I'm not gonna price it 100. I don't think it can get $130 anymore. But I'm gonna do $59.95, and if I have to, lower the price over time, All my cards do go on sale, 25% off after 4 months, so that might have to happen, but I'd rather price it a little bit too high than a little bit too low. Okay, this next one is a multi-view from Birmingham. This is probably not crazy. I'm just going to search for the hospital and see what we have. Again, some of these I'm listing. I don't expect a lot, but they were just there, and I think I can sell them. Not seeing the multi-view. Okay. And there's a Capital Park on there. They spelled it wrong on the card, but I'm pretty sure it's Capitol Park. Yeah, there are some views of that, and there's also the post office. So I'm gonna search. Oops, my mouse is acting weird. Usually means I have a hair stuck in it. Just gonna search for hospital and park. Oh God, not just hospital park. Birmingham, Alabama. Okay. Yeah, none with both of them. I don't think mine's gonna be crazy. I would be shocked if I can get more than like $10 for this card. Hospital and post office. Okay. Oops. Forgot the space. Okay, post office postcards from Birmingham. That real photo, so sold for $80. Obviously, I'm not gonna get that. This one, that's a pretty cool one with interior views. Went for $18. Why are there things that are not post offices showing up? It could be that they put post office in their description, I guess. I mean, mine is in pretty rough shape. I'm just gonna do $9.95. I really don't think I can get more than that. And next one we have is a courthouse in Anniston, Alabama. I really don't know for sure if this is going to be a more common card or not. Yeah, that's my card right there, $5. Or it's not exactly the same, but very similar, so probably going to go $4.95, $5.95, we'll see. That's the only one I see so far. That's the same courthouse, but a little bit later, 20s or so. That's the same. This is the exact same card as mine. Probably gonna do $5.95 on this one, but let's take a peek at Terra Peak and see what they've sold for. As much as $12.99 for that bird's eye view from the courthouse. Yeah, $5 for the courthouse. That's my same card. I'm just gonna do $5.95 and let it ride. Okay. This is another one from Anniston, Oxford Lake. Anniston, Alabama. And I know that Anniston isn't a huge town, but I'm not super familiar with postcards from there, so these all could be fairly common. There's some of the lake, but not seeing my exact view. It does show like the dock pavilion area, so maybe that's worth something. Yeah, it shows boathouse is what I think mine shows. I'll add that. I have boat. I'll add boathouse. Somebody has that up for. Oh, that's Oxford, Alabama. That's a different. It still looks like a boathouse to me. Why? Oh, this is coming up with. Okay. It's called Oxford Lake, so that's why I'm getting postcards from Oxford, Alabama. Okay, let's see what these have sold for. I think maybe $10, $10.15 maybe. We'll see. Okay, this one sold for $16.99, and mine's in better condition than that. $12.95, $12.50. Probably just gonna go $14.95. I don't know. That one probably sold for that much because it's a closer up view of the boathouse. Mine is kind of off in the distance. Does have some writing on the front. $14.95 is probably what I'm gonna go. Okay, there's my card. Sold for $14.98 in 2024. So yeah, $14.95 is what I'm thinking. I'll just go $16.95. Give myself room to accept offers. Coal mine, Birmingham. Now, I have seen some coal-themed postcards from Birmingham that I think are pretty common, but I can't remember having seen this. Oops, God, I didn't mean to copy that whole thing. I can't remember having seen this particular postcard. And we'll be coming up on the Georgia here just in a second. And yeah, like you can see, there's a ton of postcards of coal mining from Birmingham. But entrance, there are a couple. This is a fake ripoff. This is an actual postcard up for bid, and nobody is watching it. Mine, I mean, I'm biased again, but I think mine's pretty neat how they have the horse or donkey with the coal, what are they called, mine carts. And I don't need two in there. Okay, so that one sold for $15. That one sold for $12.99. That one is the same style as mine, was printed at the same time, just a different view. Maybe $14.95 on this one. That one is my same card, sold for $8.98 at auction, but there were two bids, so somebody thought it should have gone for more than $8.98. I don't see another one. Oh, here it is, $7.99 at auction last year, one bid. So, yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to get much more than $14.95 if I'm able to get that. Okay, and my last Alabama one coming up next is this cast house. It says showing process of molding pig iron, which I don't know what that means. I'm just going to search for pig iron in Birmingham. I really should have brought a glass of water up with me. I do have Tic Tacs. Okay, this is the same card up for $5. This is the same card up for $8.95, so looks to be fairly common. Just see what they sold for. $8.79 and $3.45. Mine does have a crease, so I'm probably just gonna go $5.95, and I'll be close to the lowest, not the actual lowest, but and it's neat. Okay, now we're moving on to Georgia. This is the school in Adele, Georgia. A lot of these towns are from southern Georgia that I'm listing today, so I don't really know how well they sell. Towns closer to me, I know. I have a better idea of how, like, if they're good sellers or not, but these I don't know for sure. Okay. Looks like it's trying to give me a bunch of baloney. It does that sometimes. Okay, there's only one up at the school, it says. Sorry, just had to take a few Tic Tacs to soothe my throat. Okay. And that one's a school too, but it's 40s or so. Not really anything up like my card, or anything that I can find that's sold recently like my card, or anything I can find on Worth Point like my card. So I'm just gonna, and I think actually I have sold some Adele cards before, not for very much, so I don't think it's a crazy seller. Like, this is a street view, only sold for $31. I mean, only is relative, but compared to some other Georgia towns, I think that is a little bit low. And not really many older cards at all, other than that street scene. This is what, yeah, 20s or so. Looks to be a more common card, selling for around $10. But really no older cards other than the street view that sold for $31. So maybe I can get $19.95 out of this one. Let's search for Adele, Georgia postcard. Yeah, 30. Well, Residence sold for 36, according to Worth Point. Maybe did, maybe didn't. I don't know. I'm probably just gonna do I don't know. I'll do $34.95. I might be able to get $30 out of this card. And I do have another one from Adele that'll probably price the same. This bank, it's pretty neat. But Adele, it just seems like the top of the line is around 35, $40. But somebody could want these cards. They're pretty neat. This one especially because you can see the house and a view of the street, or a little bit of the street there. So I'm just going to do $34.95 on both of those. Those are my only two Adele cards. And I think that price is, I don't know, somebody might buy it for that price, or slightly less. And next up is, oh, this is a weird one. I really want, let me see how many people are watching this. So if you're just sleeping, if you fell asleep to the sound of my voice, or if you're listening, or if you're able to communicate via the YouTube chat, I want your opinions, because I am pretty sure I'm not going to be able to find anything on this town. We have 18 people here in the chat, so if I could get a few opinions, that would be great. This card is a hand-drawn card, and I have a couple more today that I'll be listing that are like this. But in this collection, the person who sent the postcards, if he couldn't find a card from a particular town, if they weren't selling them at the drugstore or whatever, he would make his own. So that's what this is. And this is Alapaha, Georgia. I don't know how to say that. It's a small town in South Georgia, I think. Oh, wow. And this person also drew the colored and white entrance doors. I didn't even see that. So I'm going to try to add that to the title if I can make myself some room. I want to have the county if I can. And I want to have 1907. I might have to take out the county. Colored entrance. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I might have to take out the county. Colored and white entrances. Okay, so, I mean, that's just something that people, hand-drawn 1907. Okay, I'll move that up. Just something that people would find notable. Okay. But yeah, this is, I don't know. I don't think somebody would be willing to pay what they would for a real photo of this railroad depot. But I don't think it's crazy to think somebody would be able to pay maybe what they would for a, like if this one sold for the same, because there aren't any printed cards from these towns. He had to make his own. And I don't think there's like any surviving images out there of what the railroad depot looked like. I'm just going to search Depot Alapaha, Georgia, and see if we get anything. Okay, so this one is a real photo copy, sold a long time ago probably, and that person just ripped the image off. I'm just going to search the town and see what comes up. Greedsteed said, is it artist signed? Might be a collected artist. It's not. I mean, I know who the artist is. It's just an amateur art, or it's, amateur art. It was just the person sketching things they saw, which I think is really, really cool. But nobody's going to collect it for the artist just because, I mean, it is, just the person wasn't notable. Like, they weren't known for their art or anything. They just happened to draw some postcards. And nothing is sold really from this town except these motel cards over the last 3 years. This one's going to be probably really hard to price. And great. So what I do, the only thing that's sold from this town in the books, paper, and magazines category is this postcard. And this is going back to like 2007. So I'm going to try to look for other towns nearby. Or maybe even search the county. Okay, Nashville is nearby. Brookfield is nearby. So let's see. Nashville, Georgia. I do have some Nashville, Georgia postcards I'll be listing today too. This Klein photo sold for $55. Okay, well, that's Blue Ridge, Georgia. It's just the Louisville and Nashville Railroad Station. Again, Blue Ridge. Okay. A lot of it's not the actual city of Nashville, Georgia, but like Nashville Railroad. The other town was, what was it? Uh, Brookfield, Enigma, Georgia. Surely I'm not going to be able to find anything from Enigma, Georgia. Yeah, that's what I thought. I'll search for the county. Berrien. I mean, I wish if this was a printed postcard, it would be easier to price, I think. Berrien County, that postcard of the courthouse in Nashville sold for $25 a while ago. There's really nothing out here. I think it's really, really cool that somebody drew this in, what, 1907? Yeah, 1907. June 1907. This one is so hard to price. And I don't honestly want to do a let me see what railroad depots in Georgia like printed cards are going for on the higher end. I don't want to do an auction just cuz I don't think I will have good luck with an auction. I've had much better luck setting the price. I might try to do $80 for this card. I just think it's really, really cool, and there's nothing else like it out there for this town. And I know it's a hand-drawn card, but this person drew them pretty accurate to how they looked. I think I'm going to price this one at $84.95. And I do have some more hand-drawn cards coming up later. Or a couple more, not like a crazy amount, but one is of the courthouse, and I don't know if I'm listing it today. But I know I have another hand-drawn one over Railroad Depot that this same gentleman also drew. Fart Sack Jack said, weird, I just scrolled Facebook and got a weather report from Dothan and Eufaula. Yeah, they're listening to me, I guess. Which, well, I guess they're listening to you listening to me. Next town up is Albany, Georgia, which I think people call Albany. Or Albany. Washington Street. I think I just said the same thing twice. Washington Street looking north. I'm just going to look at Washington Street. Albany is a smaller town, but it's not crazy small, so I expect there to be a good amount out there. And all these are linen, though. That one is older. Not as old as mine, though. $10. Let's see. I really don't know how good of a seller Albany, Georgia is. I think it's also South Georgia, which I know some towns that sell well in South Georgia, but yeah, Albany, Georgia. Synagogue sold for $15.99. That's one sold for $12. I'm thinking maybe $20. Let's just see what Albany overall is selling for. At least these have comps. Yeah, Washington Street, 25 in 2022. Whoops, wrong tab. Okay. So somebody sold the drugstore. That's a really cool card for $212. Somebody sold this baseball park in Albany for $175. So Albany, this is good to know that if I have a really uncommon Albany card, it could sell for really good money. Confederate Monument, I can see why that one would sell for a lot. You don't really see, I mean, aside from it being a really close-up view of a Confederate monument, and you don't really see them, holding a flag and with somebody standing next to it and with like pictures on it. So that's a pretty unique one. This one was actually my card that I sold for $84.96, even with all that damage, which I should have remembered that I sold that card. So no, Albany cards even this linen card sold for, and I'll have to keep an eye out because I have probably seen this card before and passed it up, but because I just don't list a lot of linen cards like that are more, that aren't like roadside cards. But $49 for that one, $45 for this bank. But I don't see Washington Street, I don't see any selling for that much. So, yeah, you've got scenes on Washington Street that have sold for 15, 16, 25. So I'm just going to price mine at 19.95. But it was good to do all those comps, or good to look at the town, because I have a lot of other Albany cards to list. And if I have some less common Albany postcards, then I will know to price them up potentially. This one is a multi-view, which are always hard to search for. I'll just do views and nothing. I mean, there's nothing on here that's crazy. It does have the courthouse. It has the post office. It has a couple hotels. It has a street view. It has an older man. It has a bridge, but yeah, nothing. I'm not seeing any multi-views that have sold. I'll check Worth Point. I'm thinking $20 for this one too. I just don't think. I'm not seeing. Collectors don't love multi-view postcards, from my experience. It's cool to see different views, but they're all so small that you really can't. I mean, it's not like you can see any of them really good, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to do $19.95 on that one as well. And I have two of the courthouse, and courthouse is always easy to search for, which is great. And I don't know if this is a common card. I'm sure there are postcards of the courthouse, but maybe not as old as mine, which I have this one and this one, which are views from the exact same angle, just a different publisher. But yeah, there are, like I thought, linen and chromes of the post office, courthouse, but no older cards. I'm thinking maybe 10 to 15. We'll see what these have sold for. Yeah, so we had one sell for $11.75. That's the same one I have. That sold last year at auction. I'm probably going to do $14.95 on both of these. I mean, it is an older card, but it's not like a super uncommon card from Albany. So, but that Dexter Press one did sell for $90, which is kind of crazy. I don't know why that one blew up and went for so much. That 40s era card must have just been more uncommon than the early ones, because I don't see the early ones selling for more than $2 in 2017. I'm just going to do $14.95 on both of my courthouse ones. I don't think I'm going to be leaving anything on the table with that. Lise said, my opinion, price it up. I seem to have read somewhere that people do collect hand-drawn postcards as a category. It might have been someone on your Discord group that has said that. Yeah, I've said that in videos before. This one is just a little bit different to me because it's not like an art postcard. It's more like a view postcard. It's like a hand-drawn view postcard, which I haven't really seen much of. So it's just why I had a little bit of trouble pricing it. But I've sold hand-drawn postcards for $200, $250 before that are like art, that people draw something I would say that's more of a sketch card than an art card, if that makes sense. Like somebody's sketching what they saw. But yeah, I think it still falls into that category, and I think it would be interesting to people that collect hand-drawn postcards. But I think, at least with the hand-drawn postcards that I have sold, people are more interested in the art aspect of it. And for someone interested in a hand-drawn sketch, I think someone interested in the area would be able to, or would be willing to pay a little bit more. I hope that makes sense. But that's just how I think about it. Okay, two of these have sold for $12.75, but one is currently listed for $9.95, so I'm probably gonna put mine at $9.95. Yeah, it looks like about what they're selling for. And I have another one of Broad Street. This is of the Broad Street Bridge. So just slide in bridge instead of well. And it's trying to give me a bunch of BS again. There we go. Nothing sold. And I'll have to see. I don't remember exactly all the Albany cards I have to list. But I don't think there are any that are like going to be super uncommon. This is one sold for $12.75 at auction a couple of years ago. Broad Street Bridge. Oh, shit. Well, that is 2014. That's a long time ago. But yeah, 22.95 in 2020, 30.54. That's a different view of the bridge, but I don't think 1995 would be crazy. Okay. And this is a view of the Citizens National Bank and Woolfolk building. I don't know if that's spelled right, pronounced right, but that is what I saw. Woolfolk. Okay. This one, I mean, it's possible this one could be a little bit more uncommon, but these were all from the same publisher, which is why I just thought they might be all a bit more common. Yeah, I'm not seeing any bank in Albany, Georgia. I'll just search for a bank in Albany, Georgia. Okay. Somebody got $45 for this one in 2024. So I might price mine up. $12.99. I don't see my bank though. This one sold for $9.98. That's a different bank. This one, I have this card too, so it's good to know that one sold for $9.95. And actually, I think I'm the one who sold that. Exchange. So this is a different bank than these. This is a bit more uncommon, it looks like. So I'm thinking more of like in this range. But I'll just go to Worth Point and see if this bank has ever sold, and I might just take another look at Albany. Okay, this bank has sold $14.99 in 2020. That could have been a buy it now. They could have priced it too low. I don't know for sure. I think I might be able to get more though, based off of that bank that sold, what, 2024 for $44.96. First National Bank. I'm just gonna go $49.95 on this one. I think that's reasonable. The next one I think is the one I sold for $10 last year. Okay, let's see. Woolfolk. That's a weird name. Okay, $50 on that one. It sold for $14.99, but I think they underpriced it. We'll see. The next one, is it that same? Yeah, it's that same $10 card. Let's see, Davis Exchange Bank. Whoops, not Easy Change. Okay. Well, none currently out there, but there are some banknotes from that bank. And it is sold for $10, which I am pretty sure that's the same title structure I use. And it looks like my scanner. I don't know why I priced it $9.95, but I'm pretty sure that's me. Did I price this one too low? I wish I knew. Okay, so maybe, I don't know what the hell I base this one off of. Well, that's another one of the Woolfolk sold for $8.95. So I think maybe I'm going to be pricing that one too high now that I saw this one for $8.95. And this is also the Exchange Bank that sold for $9.95. Another Exchange Bank sold for $14.99. I'm going to change my price of that last one to $19.95. Just since I have two comps now, then that's less likely they both underpriced it, and that means at least two collectors already have this card, so it's not as uncommon as I thought. And there aren't any other up, so I don't know. I might be able to get $20, but let's see. That Exchange Bank, I don't know why I would have priced it at $10. Let me just look at Albany, Georgia again. I might do $20. I might do $14.95 on that one. There is so much. People are paying $40 for Chrome, Continental Chrome postcards from Albany, Georgia. So it's clearly a desired town. It just comes down to how many people already have this particular postcard, and if anybody still needs it, what are they willing to pay? For this bank, I'm going to do $14.95. I think it's a bit more common. I don't know. I think I sold it for $10 last year, and I don't know why. So $14.95 this time, and if I find another one next year, maybe I'll move up to $20. This next one is the Carnegie Library in Albany. This one looks to be fairly common, although this particular view does not look to be up. So, I don't know, maybe I can get $10 out of this. Libraries, not super collected, unless there's something else going on. But, you know, libraries are kind of like churches, you know. Okay, somebody did pay $20 for a library in Albany, Georgia just last year, and that's a Continental card. So, yeah, I think I'm going to price this one around $10. But Albany, it looks like it's an example of a town where a lot of the collectors have all of the older stuff, and now they are willing to, or they're trying to pay up to get all the newer stuff, like the Continental Chromes. But I'm going to price this one at $10. And, oh, I do have one that I think might be uncommon from Albany after this next one. The next one is the Chautauqua. I am sure I butchered that. Chautauqua building. This one could be a little bit less common. Okay, somebody sold this one for $30 last year. So maybe I'll try to get 40. I think this one is going to be a little bit. Yes, it's just the one comp for $30. So this one I think is a little bit less common than the other Albany, Georgia cards I've been listing. I'm going to go. Man, it's hard because some Albany cards have sold for so much. I'm just going to go $49.95. Because it's, let's see, and that was fixed price, and WorthPoint says they did not accept an offer, or since the price is the same in WorthPoint, that means they did not accept an offer. So I don't think I'm going to be able to get, obviously, over $100, or even like $80. But I think I mean, this card sold for $50, so I think it's reasonable I could get $50 for this Chautauqua. Or, I'm sure I'm saying that wrong again. I'm sorry, I don't know how to say it. The next one I think might be uncommon too, just because it's by a different publisher that I don't see as much. And it is the Opera House. Go to it. Rollins Opera House, and this one I think might be $50 to $60. There could be some up, it could be less. But if I had to guess right now, I'd say I'm going to price this one the $50 to $60 range. Okay, nothing listed. I'll just take off Rollins. It is really neat. I might even price it a little bit higher just because it's a really cool street view type of card. You can see the people out front, the signs and everything. It's a little bit hand tinted. It's a really, really neat one and really uncommon. I can't find anything. Yeah, I thought this one was going to be a little bit less common. So I'm going to go back, search for the town. I might try to ask $70 to $80 for this card. Okay, let's see. This card, I think it just sold for that much because it's baseball related. This one, that's really good. I might try 100. I might put 120. I'm gonna put $120 on this card and just see what happens. Because I don't think, if people from Albany, Georgia have this card, I don't think they bought it on eBay. So, and I know that people that collect Albany, Georgia are willing to pay $132 for this Confederate monument, and willing to pay $175 for this baseball stadium, and $212 for this. So I don't think my card is maybe at the level of those, but you know, it's maybe at this level, which sold for $111. So I'm gonna price mine at $120. $119.95 I'm gonna put on that one, and I think that is a quite uncommon Albany, Georgia postcard. We'll see what happens. I'll be putting these listings live right after I finish pricing them, so Some of them might sell today. Some of them might sell tomorrow. We'll see. The next is a courthouse in Ashburn, Georgia, Turner County. Not named. Probably the only thing in Georgia named Turner, not named after Ted Turner. Turner County Courthouse, Ashburn. I'm just gonna take out the county. Okay. This is a probably 40s, 50s real photo. No early postcards. I don't know how good of a seller Ashburn is, but we're about to find out. Okay. No early courthouses have sold in the last 3 years. And one sold a while ago for $15.60. One sold in 2019 for $12.76. I think I'm going to price mine around $20, but I just want to see how good of a seller Ashburn is in general before I decide to price it at $20. That's a really nice real photo. It sold for $100. This depot sold for $40. This high school sold for $31. I might try to get 34. I might price this one at $34.95 just because it hasn't been up in, well, there was one up in 2019, so it's not a super uncommon subject, but it is an early example of the an early postcard of the courthouse, which, even though it's the same courthouse, and I might just do $19.95 and turn off offers. Let's see, that one went for $31 just last year, high school, and that one's pretty cool. I'm just gonna do $34.95. If the price gets lowered over time, the price gets lowered over time. I don't want to price it too low. The next one is Augusta. So as you can see, we're gradually moving through the alphabet. I think we're gonna, there's a good number of A's. We're gonna be moving quicker through the rest of the letters. This is the courthouse in Augusta. I don't think this one's uncommon, but it was a pretty cool view in a rotograph. So it's a high quality card. Just why I am listing. Oops, didn't mean to do that. One's up for $5.99, but it is damaged, and that is the only one of that style. Okay, I'm thinking maybe $10. We'll see. Okay, somebody sold that one for $5.99. I might still price mine at 10 just because mine is a rotograph card, and it is, where did my mouse go? Oh, there it is. I think mine is higher quality than, yeah, that one sold for $14.95 or roundabouts. I might even do $14.95 because mine is in great shape. I am going to do $14.95. And there's one out there that's the exact same as mine, but it has that on it, which is, not desirable. Okay, the next one is Boston, Georgia. Beantown of the South, as they call it. This is the same card. No watchers. It's listed for $19.99. I don't know how good of a seller Boston, Georgia is, but I know it's a really small town. And there is that one too, but it's a different church. $19.99. Let's see if they've sold. One sold for $9.99. That's probably the same card. So it sold for $10. And a real photo of it sold for also $10. So not looking great for Boston, Georgia. I might just do $14.95. Let's see. Yeah, not great for Boston, Georgia. If I can even get $14.95. Okay, Boston, Georgia is sold for up to $50 for this real photo, or a horse, or the street. And I do have a street view, so I'll keep that in mind. 25, 25. Okay, 20. The Bean Theater. I don't. What is it with Boston and beans? I thought it was just Boston, Massachusetts. I sold that card, 1995, and I do have some Moultrie, Georgia cards I'll be listing, so that bodes well. But yeah, Boston, Georgia, it does not look like is a crazy good seller. I'm just gonna put that one up for 14.95. And I have many more Boston, Georgia card. Well, not many more, like 4 more or 3 more. That's pretty boring. Probably gonna be another 14.95 one. Sinks. Okay. Okay, nothing up from Howells, Sinks, or whatever. Okay, that sold for $3, a whopping $3.99. I'm probably gonna do $14.95. Yeah, sold for $14.99 in 2020. So fingers crossed. Maybe I'll be able to get $14.95. These next ones, I'm gonna probably do $20. This is kind of a Black Americana scene, but I'm not putting that in my title because I don't want it to get taken down. But also, it's not like a derogatory drawn scene, so that's why I'm listing it. It's just like probably made from a photograph, so it's an actual scene. I'm just gonna put $20 on that one probably, unless I can find any reason not to, or any reason to price it higher. Boston, Georgia. Again, I'll just refresh my memory. I don't think anything has really sold for that much, except for that real photo went for 50 a couple years ago. I don't think I have any real photos from Boston. I do have some real photos to list today, not from Boston, Georgia though. Okay, I mean that one went for maybe 25. So Boston, Georgia does not appear to be in high demand. This is the street scene I have, which I'm probably just going to put 1995 on it. And I have this one, which I'm probably just going to put 14.95 on. A driveway, just boring. I'll search, but it's probably going to be 14.95. Yeah, 14.99. Mine is the exact same view, just black and white. Is anybody watching that? One person. Maybe I can get that sucker to come over and buy mine. Let's see if it's sold. I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna do 14.95. That same card is sold for 10. Mine's black and white. Maybe somebody will take an interest in that. 14.95. This one is the one that had sold for like $22. I'm just gonna put 19.95 on it. Boston, Georgia does not appear to be that good of a seller. Next is the courthouse, Glenn County Courthouse in Brunswick, Georgia. Let me check on my live stream in a minute, see how you all are holding up. Chat's been quiet for a minute. You're all lulled to sleep by my listing. Okay, we have 12 people. That's more than more than a few. Not bad. I'll keep going. I don't know if I'll try to do all these 100 live, but my throat is already kind of scratchy, so I don't know if I'll make it for sure. But this video will just be up for people to watch later too. So I'm pretty sure most people that watch my live streams do not actually watch them live. Anyway, next one up is this Glenn County Courthouse in Brunswick, Georgia. There's a lot out there, it looks like, but mine is an Albertype from around the 20s. There's 151. I don't want to really scroll through all those. I'm assuming mine is probably not listed, but you never know. Oh, there's mine, 1275. That is the exact same as mine. 1275, no watchers. 1999. That's the exact same as mine. One watcher. Okay. Moving up, 1288. I'm just gonna do 995. There's no reason for me to put myself through this. And I have some more Brunswick. Man, I'm just listing these because, you know, I think I can sell them for quickly. They're not the highest dollar card, though. This is Grand Opera House, Brunswick. And this publisher published a lot, so this one, oh, it's not common. Or it's not listed. It could still be common, but I'm kind of surprised there aren't any out there of this Opera House in Brunswick. Because this publisher, Arthur Livingston, his cards are usually more common. Okay, one sold for 10, one sold for 16. And let me just get a view of what Brunswick overall is selling for. This one also, though, I put in my title. I don't think those others did. This was also the Brunswick and Birmingham Railroad office. So that's neat. I sold that card for $64.95. I also sold this one for $59.95, so I've had some good luck with the Brunswick, even though they usually don't sell for a lot. I might do 20 bucks on. Oh, that one sold for 40. I think I'm gonna do $39.95. Lee said, "Quiet but not asleep. It's helpful to hear your thought process." Yeah, I've had people tell me before. I've done similar videos where I do live listing before, not like a ton, but a couple, and people have told me they've been really helpful. So thought it would be nice. There's a football game going on now too. I assume I'm losing some audience members to that, but I want to watch that football game too. So hopefully I'll be able to wrap things up before too long. Next is the City Hospital, Brunswick, Georgia. Again, there's a lot of Brunswick cards out there, but uncommon Brunswick can sell for decent money. It's on the coast, I think, near St. Simons, Jekyll Island area. Okay, City Hospital. $9.99, $9. Those are both early cards. None black and white. Not that that really matters, but I might just do $9.95 on this one. Okay, somebody sold this one for $12.95, so I'll shoot for the stars. I'll do $12.95. $12.95. Okay, Custom House, Post Office, Brunswick. Again, a lot of these cards I know aren't going to be super common. I'm just listing them because I think they're going to be relatively quick sales. Even though I might only be able to get 7, 8, 10, 12 bucks for them. Okay, Custom House and U.S. Post Office. $3.99, $10, $7.99. There's my card, $8.95. That's a similar one, $8.99. Probably gonna do $5.95. I'll just see what they've sold for. I really need cough drops up here. I tried to take some water. Okay, that one sold. That's different. 7. Yeah, I'm just gonna do $5.95. That's good enough. I used to have cough drops up here, and then I think I got a cold and used them all. But Greed's Deeds said, do use a bulk listing tool. Are you telling me to use a bulk listing tool, or are you saying you use a bulk listing tool? I've tried AI bulk listing tools before. I just didn't save much time. Oh, you're asking if I use a bulk listing tool? No, I use eBay's, and I know there are third-party softwares you can use too, like, what is it, 6-bit is what Popeye uses. And I've downloaded that and tried it, but nothing for me has been as fast as just using eBay's tool. And the eBay tool, you don't have to pay anything extra for. It's included with your eBay store, so that's one benefit to using it. But yeah, if you're just talking about bulk listers, eBay is the fastest one for me. City Hall. There's a lot out there, but none exactly like mine. But, I mean, eBay's tool works pretty well. They've made improvements on it, and you can just upload from photos, which is what I do. So I'll show you that in a second here. Let's see, $28. That's different, though. $14.95 for that guy. And mine's a pretty neat, I think. Did I sell that one? That card looks familiar. I think I did sell that one last year for $14.95. I'll do $17.95. I'll show you all where I go to create listings in eBay. But since they added this, it's been pretty easy for me to list. So when I go to list in eBay, I just go to sell and create listing. And I do photo upload right here, and then I just upload my 200 photos. And it's really because it fills. I don't fill in item specifics anymore. So once it creates the 100 drafts from my 200 photos, I just add an item description. I change the shipping and business policies. I make sure the location is correct. What else do I do? I add offers. I change the item condition to used. And then after that, all I have to do is title and price. My mouse is acting weird for some reason. Okay. Oglethorpe Hall, moving on to the next Brunswick, Georgia card. I'm ready to be done with Brunswick, Georgia and move on to some smaller towns. Even though, I mean, maybe I have an uncommon card, but I haven't seen it yet. I knew this one was going to be more common, but I don't know. Because, I mean, mine is an older card. Okay, 7, that's probably my listing. But I don't see my exact card, but there are older ones up. That one's pretty close. I don't really want to look through all, whatever, 180 of these. I'm just going to see what they've sold for. Greed Steed said, I have been single listing with my phone. I do have scanner, just haven't hooked it up yet. I did that when I first started single listing with my phone. And once you use your computer, you will definitely never go back. Okay, that one, $9.95. Mine's a blue tint. Does that add anything? No. I'll do $7.95 on that one. Hanover Park, this one might be, these next few might be a little more uncommon. Yeah, I mean, single listing with your phone works, but the computer is, I can get 100 listings. Obviously, these are taking a little bit longer since I'm talking as I'm listing all of them, but I can get 100 listed in about 3 hours from start to finish. Hanover Park, this one's up for $12.99. With 3 watchers, I'm probably just going to do $9.95 and sell it. Okay. Did somebody pay $15.99? No, that's a different one. Somebody did pay $12.99, but I'll just do $11.95. Underpricing by $1. Mallory, this one was the one I thought might be more uncommon. I don't know for sure though. Mallory Steamship Docks, Brunswick, Georgia. Yeah, nothing listed. And I might take out Steamship. Okay, looks like we do have some sold, so. Okay, one went for $9.95 at auction and $11.99 at fixed price. I might just do $14.95, but let's see if there's anything. Yeah, that looks to be about the going rate for that card, $14.95. Okay, the next one is the St. Simon's Lighthouse, Brunswick. And I'll just take out Island because it doesn't say it on the card, but it is St. Simon's Island. Okay, one's up for 12. That one is pretty close to the view I have for $17.99. Let's see if anybody's watching it. I'm just curious. Okay, 6 watchers. So that one's drawing a good bit of interest, but the price is probably a little bit too high. Means I'm probably going to go $14.95. Yeah, $14.95 looks like a decent price for that card. And this is Cave Spring, Georgia, which is a really small town near Chubbtown, which I think is where Nick Chubb was from, or is from. Nothing listed for Hearn Academy. Okay, one sold for $11.69. It is a little bit later than my card, and it's a completely different building, so mine could sell for a decent bit more than that, depending on, yeah, okay, $34.95 in 2018 and $24.99, and also $15, so it looks like the price is going down over time. Just going to search Cave Spring, thinking about $19.95, probably what I'll do, unless something tells me it should be higher. Yeah, Cave Spring doesn't look crazy, but I think I could reasonably get 20 bucks for that card. And I have one Columbus, Georgia card to list. There were not a lot of big towns in this collection. Fortunately, there were a couple of Atlanta couple Columbus, one or two Augusta, but not much from bigger towns. Lower Broad Street, Columbus, Georgia. Okay, that one's up for $12.75. That's the exact same view. It is the Confederate monument that's in there. I didn't put that in my title. Maybe I should. Okay. I'm just going to do $9.95. They've sold for as much as $8. It's listed for $12, and split the difference. Okay, moving on to some smaller towns. This is the, whoops, just blew past that, Crisp County Courthouse in Cordele, Georgia. I really don't know how uncommon this one is, but Cordele's a relatively smaller town, I think. Not as small as some others, but okay, I think this is my listing, up for $19.95, yeah. Okay, I'm probably going to price it $19.95 then, but okay, that's a damaged one going for $4.99. Another damaged one going for $4.99. Maybe I have mine priced too high. That's currently, I probably have mine priced too high. $14.99 on that one. That's pretty much the same as mine. And that one's neater, but I might just wait for it to go on sale instead of changing the price on it. Yeah, I'm just gonna do. I know really old ones have sold, but maybe the old ones are all priced too high. Crisp County Courthouse, Cordele, Georgia. I'm gonna go. Those are damaged. That you can't really compare. And that one is old. I think I'm gonna go $9.95 on this one. And for my other one that's listed at $19.95, instead of changing the price, I think I'm just gonna let it go on sale and maybe accept offers. Or I do accept offers. We have quite a few Cordele to list. This is the Swanee Hotel. This is an Albert type. A lot of the Cordele I have to list are Albert type. So they're really high quality images. But I don't, again, Cordele isn't a super small town, so okay, this card is up twice for $35. My card is the exact same. No watchers on that one. No watchers on that one. 35 is obviously too high. Let's see. $5.88. Wow. That was a more modern card, though. I might do 20. I'm just going to see what Cordele has sold for in general. And by listing a lot of Cordele cards at once, I'm hoping to get one buyer buying, a lot. Okay, so we have this National Bank sold for $37. These are all in 2023, though. This Street View sold for $51. It looks like nowadays maybe 30, 35 is the top of the line for Cordele. That's a really neat one. I'm going to price this one at $19.95. What I was going to say, my thought there before I interrupted myself was the goal of listing a lot of Cordele or a lot of similar cards at once is hopefully somebody's going to come in and see that I listed 10 Cordele cards they don't have and buy them all instead of them selling one by one over the months or years. This is a cool one. It's the residence of Georgia's war governor, so it's Civil War related. I'm just going to search governor because surely somebody would have put governor in the title if they listed that card. Yeah, it's up for $19.99, which I was going to price mine at $19.99, but now that I see theirs hasn't sold, I might do $17.95 or $14.95. We'll just see if any have sold. Yeah, sold for $7.80. I'm just going to do $14.95 on that one. And we have a private residence. Again, these are all Albert types, so really high quality printing and cards. I just think the town isn't a super great seller. Private residence, not seeing anything. I'm just going to do residence in Cordele, Georgia. Okay, nothing. Maybe $20 on that one. I mean, it's not the neatest view, but I don't think anybody has that card, so they could be willing to pay $20. This is different, and that's the one we just looked at, so I'm gonna try to get $20 out of it. I'll take another peek. Yeah, in the last couple years, this one is the highest. I mean, and this one did sell for 25, but it's a Confederate monument. That one sold for 24, so yeah, 25 or so appears to be near the top of the line these days. This is the Carnegie Library, again, a really nice Albert type. Lee said, do you know if people specifically collect Albert types, no matter the subject? Just curious. I don't think there are many collectors who want all kinds of Albert types, but I do think there are a lot of collectors who prefer Albert types of what they collect. Like, I collect Athens, and if I had the choice of picking a nice Albert type versus a regular printed card showing the exact same view, I would be willing to pay more for the Albert type because they're higher quality and just really nice, especially the hand-colored ones. So, yeah, I don't think there's many people that are like trying to buy all the Albert types they can. I just think it makes them a bit more attractive to collectors of certain areas. This library is sold for as much as 10, but mine's a bit older. You got people out there. I think I'm going to try to get 15 for this. Yeah, I'll try to get 15. And then I have a few more. Whoops, I meant to do 15, not 13. Actually, I have, yeah, just 3 more Cordial. I don't think any of them are going to be crazy, but you never know. Well, I do have a pretty good idea. This is the High School in Cordial. A really, really nice Albert type. This one's even nicer than the last because these Albert types, well, these especially, it's only taking up half the postcard pretty much. So the full, yeah, these are just nicer. O'Neill High School, that's mine. I should probably change the price on that. But I don't want to right now. Maybe another day. Damaged one is up for 15 bucks. I'm probably going to do 20 on mine. I mean, it is a really nice Albert type with the horse-drawn wagon out front too. I'm just gonna do 20, and there is a damaged one up for 15. Mine is just gonna be listed if someone doesn't want to buy the one missing a corner. They can pay $5 more. And 2 more Cordial. Next one is kind of a residential street view. Probably gonna be in the 20-ish range on this one. And that one, again, I have some of these. These Cordial ones are mine, and I probably need to lower the price on them. But is this Cordial also mine? Yeah, Cordial's also mine. So what am I doing? I've got one for 8. I've got one for 45. Now that one is a really high quality card, and it's going to go on sale. I maybe can get 30 bucks out of it, but it's a really cool view. I don't see a 12th Avenue. Oh, this is a 12th. No, it's 13th. I don't see a 12th. I might be able to get 20 bucks. We'll see. Again, Cordial does not appear to be the bestseller. But, I mean, that one is 12th Avenue. But other than that, I don't know. It's just not that nice. I might do $14.95. Let's see. The hotel. I'm just looking at what I've priced the other ones at. Yeah, I'm going to do $14.95 on that one. Central Hotel, Cordial, Georgia. That's a cool one. Probably 20 bucks on this if there's not one out there for less. God, I don't want to look eBay. I typed in Central Hotel, Cordial, Georgia. I do not want to look at all Cordial, Georgia postcards. Yeah, none out there. I mean, it's unlikely I'm going to be able to get more than 20, but and if this card is never sold, maybe I'll try. Okay, Hotel of Cordial. It's a different hotel. This is the Central Hotel. Let me just look at Cordial and see what we have. I might try $39.95 on this one, just because I don't know if I'll be able to get it, but It can go on sale eventually if it doesn't sell for that much. But I don't see anything else out there from the Central Hotel in Cordele, Georgia. So hopefully the Cordele collector is willing to pay more for that one that they don't have. Ooh, I really need a neck support here. I'm kind of hunched over my microphone. Okay, moving on to Covington, Georgia. This is the Newton County Courthouse. It's a 40s era Dexter press, but Covington is a relatively small town. Went up for $7.88, and for people watching it, I guess they just want the price to be lower, which I will probably do. Okay, but it did sell for $13 last year, or not last year. We're in 2026 now. But it also sold for $6.99, and a bunch sold for less. So I'm just gonna do $5.95. And moving on from Covington to Cuthbert. Do you all appreciate going in alphabetical order through Georgia? I think we have up through I have up through Nashville. Okay, Andrew Female College. That's mine. It's quite damaged. Went up for $14.75. Still though, I'm surprised nobody's bought that for $4. Let's see what we have. Okay, sold for as much as $14.99. The view, I mean, these are the same two buildings in my card, just from like a different angle. I might try to do $14.95. Nobody has this particular card, but that one is pretty close. I might just do $12.95 actually. Okay, now I have the Confederate Monument in Cuthbert, Georgia, so maybe that'll be a little bit less common of a subject. Or not. No, those all look modern. I don't want to look at all Cuthbert cards. I typed in Confederate Monument eBay, come on. Okay, 4 up, all modern. This one sold for $17.64. That's my card. Sorry, I didn't go to the next card. That's the exact same card I have. Sold last year for $17.64. That's good enough for me. $19.95. Hotel Randolph, Cuthbert, Georgia. This is a cool one because you can see part of the street, and there's also the hardware store right there. So just a pretty cool view. I listed a similar card of the hotel for $19.95. It has not sold, so it is on sale. And that card, like, I don't know. Cuthbert's probably not a super desirable town, which is why that card is still up. But some cards that I see that are still listed, I'm like, I have that one overpriced. And some, I'm like, that's a pretty good price for that card, because I'm the only one out here. I'm the only older card listed. And one sold for $12.99, so I'm not really overpriced either, but I think I'm going to price this one at $19.95 just because you can see the street and it's not just a view of the hotel. I mean, this one isn't really either. It's just from a different angle. I think I'm still going to price mine at $19.95 just because. Yeah, Cuthbert, again, $20.25 seems to be the top of the line, so I'm going $19.95. And I do have the courthouse, but this is a 1930s era card. It could be quite common, we'll see. Okay. Yeah, that's my card for $8.99, for $7.53, for $7.99. Probably gonna go $5.95, but I'm just gonna take a peek, just to be sure. All right, we're chugging along. Only got, what, 40 cards left? Okay, one sold for $6.99. Yeah, I would be happy with $5.95. Next one is Dalton, Georgia. Okay, 38 left. Not bad. Dalton, Georgia, I think is a fairly good seller, but this card is in terrible shape. No older views of the courthouse. Well, that one's, what, 20s? But no views like this, but again, mine is in very crummy shape. If it wasn't a small town and an uncommon card, I wouldn't be listing it in that condition. Another one in pretty poor condition sold for 20 bucks. It's funny. Mine is definitely different, obviously, but both were taped. That one's probably in slightly better condition. I believe I sold that one. I'm probably gonna do $14.95 on mine. Or I am gonna do $14.95 on mine. Okay, the next one is Darien, Georgia, which can sell really well, but this might be a little bit more common. General's Cut, Darien, Georgia. Okay. Okay. Oh, wow, it sold for 52 last January, but that was 3 different cards. It was my card, that one, which is a common one, and that one, which is probably also uncommon. Okay, great. But wait, did somebody sell that one for 52.51 by itself? Looks like they did. In 2021, 52.51. Yeah, so I might do $39.95. See what Darien has sold for over the last couple years. Okay, yeah, if you have nice Darien, Georgia cards, as you can see here, they can sell really well. And this is a printed card, Railroad Depot. 177, 150, 182 for that one, 106. This is one I sold actually a couple of years ago. I mean, mine's more scenic, so obviously it's not going to be at the higher level of those. But I think I sold that one too a couple of years ago. 39. I think that's fairly good price, $39.95. And now moving. I wish I had more Darien cards, but I only had that one. Or the collection only had that one. Next one, or now we're moving on to Dawson, Georgia. The fire department in City Hall. Again, Dawson is in South Georgia. I don't know how well it sells, so we're going to find out. I thought it was in North Georgia. Oh, this is my card. That's funny. Up for $14.92. Again, not a bad price. I'm the only one out here. But nobody's biting. Fire department, City Hall. None have sold. Dawson, it is looking like. Okay. Well, somebody sold a colored postcard of the fire department for 20 bucks. I'm just gonna do $14.95. I have the exact same card up for $14.92. This one might be slightly, yeah, this one's got the crease, but I'm just gonna do $14.95. And I have some other Dawson, Georgia, which based on the first card, it doesn't look like it's gonna be a great seller, but $10, $15 to $20 for cards isn't bad. AM6095 said, I have an RPPC of the aftermath of a large fire of what appears to be a hotel. Unfortunately, there is no identifying info about where it is. I know it's somewhere on the east coast of North America. If I can't find out where it is, how should I price it? I would try to do some reverse image searches and see if you can get some hits. It's possible that that image has appeared elsewhere online and you can find it. There's also an unidentified RPPC Facebook group you could try joining and seeing if anybody there can help you out. But if you can't identify where it's from, it would depend on how neat the card is. If you can't really see a lot of, if it just looks like a burned down hotel, maybe 20 bucks. If you can see some other cool stuff going on, it could go for more, even if it's unidentified. But I would, definitely do a reverse image search, see if it's out there somewhere, and if it's not, try posting in that Facebook group to see if they can help you figure it out. There's different things you can use. If it's posted on the back, that can give you a clue. Tried that, doesn't exist. Well, how neat is the image? Is it like just ruins and you can't really see anything, or are there can you see most of the hotel? Does it look kind of cool? But I would say probably $15-20 maybe. Maybe a little bit more if it's neater, just for unidentified. There's people that buy unidentified RPPCs on eBay, but they're definitely not willing to pay as much for identified stuff. I'm gonna price this Dawson one at. Whoops! Oh my God! I'm so sorry if that was traumatic for you. Okay. Um, I just opened the YouTube stream in the same window, so it was probably like Inception or whatever. Okay. I think that's a cool Dawson one. I'm gonna try to get 20 bucks out of it. Lots of smoke obscured about 60% of the card. Looks like it was taken just after. That probably limits the value a little bit. I mean, disasters. I used to think disasters were more collectible than they are, and people collect them. Don't get me wrong, but disasters happened all the time back then. Like, there's a reason why hotels would advertise that they're fireproof, because they burn down constantly. So I would say 15-20 bucks is probably what I would price it at if you're not able to identify it. But I would post it in that Facebook group just to see if they could possibly help you out any. Chances are, if you can't find anything, they may not be able to help, but it's always worth. Okay, the school, no exact views like mine, but similar, priced anywhere from 8 to 12 bucks it looks like. So I might go $14.95. Since mine is from a different angle, we'll see. One sold for 8. Yeah, Dawson is just not that great of a seller. I'm gonna do $12.95. Okay, we have a really cool one again up next. Another hand-drawn railroad depot in Georgia. I priced my first one that I couldn't find anything on at $84.95. Thank you for the input. Yeah, I don't mean to trash the card or anything, but they're just not. I'm sure it's a nice card, and $15 to $20 for a postcard is pretty good for one that's unidentified. Oh, things just burned down a lot back then, so it's not like. And I'm just saying this because this is how I would have thought when I started. So you may already, know that disasters happened all the time, and it's not super rare. But when I started, and I didn't really know, if I would have found that, I would have been like, I've hit the jackpot. A hotel burning down. This is crazy. Historical. People are going to really want this. I'm going to price this crazy higher. That's how I would have thought. So that's why I say that. Doe Run, Georgia. Guarantee you I'm not going to find anything for this. I mean, obviously not for this view, but since it's hand-drawn. But, okay, we have one. This is a cancel. No views. Again, I don't think I'm going to find any views from Doe Run, Georgia, because this person had to hand draw the railroad depot. So this one is Bainbridge, and it was just sent to Doe Run. Nothing from Doe Run. Okay, so the main street did sell for $16.50 back in 2021. I think mine, I'm definitely going to price mine higher than that, but it's in Colquitt County, Georgia. Let's see. What's the county seat? Moultrie. Okay. So if Moultrie cards are going for a lot, then maybe I could get more for Doe Run. Moultrie. Okay, Moultrie has gone for as much as 90 bucks. But the fact that it's a depot too is really, really cool. Oh, and he did. I'm going to add that to my title because he put the white and colored entrance on the card again. And you don't often see that on cards. So I'm wondering, sorry, I'm just looking for where I put that in my title. I am wondering if postcard publishers in the South would purposely obscure where it said, or they would, purposely publish, sorry, just trying to fix my title here. Oh, okay. Well, I'm using all my characters. Because I don't see the different entrances for white and colored on um older postcards from the South that much. So I wonder if they would try to obscure that. Because I know that it was on a lot of railroad depots, obviously, because the South did not allow uh, white and black people to. I mean, not that the white people um, were like, oh yeah, we're welcoming different races with open arms. But let's see. So a Moultrie, Georgia card is sold for $89 in 2023. And this one sold for 56. This one sold for 49. I do have a lot of Moultrie I'm going to be listing too. Doe Run. Let's see. How far is Doe Run to Moultrie, Georgia? I might just price this one at the same price as I did 15 minutes away. So yeah, these are all in the same kind of area anyway. I might do 84.95 on this one too. And I don't. These are just so hard to price because it's how do you price a card that is a literal one of one? And you can't even say that with a lot of RPPCs. But this hand, he definitely didn't draw another one of these. Okay, we have the Courthouse in Douglas, Georgia, which is also a hand-drawn card. I do have a printed card. This is a really nice one too. Look how he drew this courthouse. Don Monroe said, has anyone tried external advertising? I do promoted listing, but need more people to see my cards. I don't do external advertising. If eBay's done a credit for it, I might have tried it in the past, but I don't think I've done external. I don't think eBay's done any nice credits for it. I have done store promoting on eBay because they said they would give me like $150 credit. So I just promoted with a budget up to the limit, and it was crazy how terrible it was. Wow, his drawing is pretty good, I must say. That one only sold for $20. I don't know. Okay, Douglas. I might price this one a bit higher just because it's hand drawn. But no, I haven't tried promoted off-site. I'll say the store promoting does not work at all. I didn't spend any of my own money on it, thankfully, but eBay gave me a $150 credit and I generated like $60 in sales. So if it was my own money, I would have lost like $90 promoting my store. So don't do the store promotion. I don't know about off-site. I don't think you really need it because, I mean, I get so much traffic. I'll just take a short intermission here and show you all my traffic I get from promoted or not. Yeah, I guess promoted, organic, and external. I get so much traffic from external. I don't think any traffic you buy is going to surpass that. Let's see. And I've been getting more too. And I have a theory that I might be getting more traffic because I don't end and relist my listings. So Google can just, like, my listings never change. They're always in the same spot at the same link. And I think that helps getting a ton of organic traffic. But look at this, like, and it has picked up recently. But organic and or external is what I'm looking at. Sorry. Like this last Thursday, external traffic, which is mainly from Google, was higher than promoted and organic eBay traffic. So that's pretty crazy. And it's been good the last few days too. So external is higher than my promoted traffic. Again, external higher than promoted. So I'm getting a lot of, and these are listing views. I'm getting recently 300 plus people a day are finding my listings from Google. Not just finding them, but visiting them from external websites like Google, mostly Google. But yeah, it hasn't always been like that, but a sizable portion of my traffic does come from external search. And yeah, I'm doing fine without doing any of the. I do promote on platform, but other than that, And fortunately, since eBay made that change, I haven't seen a huge increase in the number of listings that sell through promoted channels. Like you can see, it's been about 50-50. And since eBay made that change, it's still been about 50-50. I believe they made it the 13th. And the first full day after they made it, I sold more organic than promoted. And then about the same Thursday, about the same Friday, I sold more organic listings yesterday, and I'm selling more organic listings today. So the change, fortunately, hasn't really been hurting me so far. All right, back to the listing. Gaskin Springs, Douglas, Georgia. This is not a hand-drawn card, but probably a cool mineral spring where people would go to heal up or whatever. Yeah, not seeing anything. And Douglas, Georgia doesn't look to be a crazy town. Excuse me. But I might be able to get $40 for that card. I think I sold this one. I'm just going to try to get $40 for that one. And moving on to Dublin, Georgia. Probably named after Dublin, Ireland, I would assume. Don said, I wish I did. Mine seems to stay constant. I really think that there is an advantage to not ending and relisting, because my links to items have not changed now and I know that Google can index things and search really quickly, but I think there's something to be said for having a web page up for a long time for a product versus, taking it down and making a new one every month. I know for the eBay search, it likes it when it's newer, but I think maybe search engines like it when it's been up for a while. Let's see, City Hall, Dublin. Yeah, not much. There's the courthouse and the multi-view. That one's a really cool one though, how the people are gathered out front. As they are. Okay, that one sold for 30. This one sold for $6.95. It doesn't, well, we'll see. Not looking like Dublin, Georgia's the bestseller. I'm still gonna try to get $20 just because I think this one has a really cool view. Dublin is sold for as much as 50, and the Railroad Depot sold for 35, and all these sold for like 33.50. So not crazy, but I think $20 is more than reasonable. See if there's one of the courthouse. Lawrence County Courthouse. Sorry, I need to take another Tic Tac break to soothe my weary throat. Okay, this card is up for $11.99. Those are good. Probably gonna do $9.95. I should have bought all orange Tic Tacs. They're my favorite. I got the mix pack instead. But I don't like the other flavors. I only like orange, really. Oh yeah, 2 orange. Yeah. Nothing here really telling me I can get more than $10. Or even that I can get $10, but let's say $11.99. Oh, I'm just gonna do $10. Moving on to Fitzgerald, Georgia. City Hall, not seeing anything. This is the post office. Not sure why it came up when I searched for City Hall. Okay. Somebody sold it for $30. That's pretty close to my view. And it's a fire department. I wasn't sure, so I didn't add it, but on that one you can tell that it is. 15. I think I sold that one actually. It's 15. I might be able to get 20. I'll try to get 20 probably. That's the depot or railroad shops. So an RPPC, another depot, Confederate Monument, Street View. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get more than 20 bucks, so I'm just gonna do 19.95. And I do have a few other Fitzgerald, Georgia. I have the ME Church, Central ME Church. Probably, what, 15? Somewhere around that. I mean, if it's uncommon, I might do 20, we'll see. Or if churches have sold for around that. Okay, it's up for 20. There are 2 watchers. It's also up for $12.99. And no watchers, but that one is kind of damaged. I'll probably do $14.95. Okay, the same card sold for $7.50. Maybe somebody buys this with the city hall. Who knows? Okay, I do have another Fitzgerald too, so maybe somebody comes in and buys all 3. And the church just rides along on their coattails. Oops, I accidentally went all the way back to the beginning. I apologize. Where was I? Okay, I'm all the way at Cordial. I need to go further. Okay, I went too far. Okay, here we go. This is the bank in Fitzgerald. Might be able to get a little bit more than 20. We'll see. Okay, probably not. Somebody sold it for 11. Kevin the postcard guy, I think. I think that's what he uses. 11. 12.74. That's a newer one. That one sold for 22. Wow, that sold for 60. That's a different one, but that one sold for 62 in 2021. I think 20. God, I think 20 bucks is gonna be good for this card, but I'll go and take a peek. And I could try $39.95. Well, it's pretty cool. I'll try it. I don't think I'll be able to get it, but okay. Now moving on to Forsyth. I only have one Forsyth card. Don said, I don't relist, I just leave mine in my store. How many listings do you have up? I know that can be. I know I have a lot more traffic now, obviously, but that could be playing a factor too. If you build your store up, that can help your other listings. Courthouse Forsyth. Okay, this one. Okay, those are real photos. Not seeing this exact card, but there's definitely images of the courthouse out there for not too much. Okay, 12.88. Okay, I mean, I might be able to get 15 bucks. Let's see. Yeah, those are, or that one is early. Forsyth, yeah, I'm gonna price this one at $14.95. Well, you know, I'm gonna do 20. I think I might be able to get that. Greenville, Georgia, another really small town. This is their county courthouse. Oh, they do have. Oh, that's Gainesville. I searched Greenville. Not Gainesville, come on. Stupid eBay. Okay, no, nothing early. Just those mid-century real photos. Again, nothing early. Okay, 1288 for the mid-century, but nothing early. Let me see what is out there. Or what has sold from Greenville, Georgia. This hotel sold for 40. This boring one sold for 30. I mean, that's fine. It is boring, but I'm probably gonna price this one at 40. The Depot only sold for 21 a week ago, but I still think I'm gonna price mine at 40. That's really cool. Greenville, Mississippi. Here's Greenville, Georgia. Church sold for 43. I'm just gonna go 30. I mean, it is a courthouse. I'll do 44.90. Oh god, not $449. Next is Griffin, Georgia. God, my throat cannot take much more. I think I'm gonna make it through these last 28 listings, but all this talking is doing my throat in. Okay, only 22. Courthouse, Griffin, Georgia. I don't even know if there's still anybody watching this. Let me check. Oh, whoops, wrong window. Oh, 20 people watching? That's crazy. Are there actually 20 people here right now? That doesn't sound right. Surely there aren't 20 people watching this video right now. Okay, Griffin, Georgia. New courthouse. It's the same building, but these are more modern cards. Okay, nothing as old as mine. I don't know how good of a seller Griffin, Georgia is, but we're gonna find out. Okay, somebody sold the Klein photo for 32. Somebody sold the old card for 22. That's the same as mine. So I'm thinking 20. I'm thinking 20. Griffin, Georgia. 20 bucks will be good for that card. The Depot. That's a nice one. Oh, somebody... Yeah, I mean, those Griffin have been selling for a decent amount. That's not even that good of a card. Maybe I'll price it at 40 bucks. Oh, shoot. I don't know. I'll do $34.95. Because that is like the next price point I do after $19.95. And I think I could maybe get 30 bucks for that card. Okay. Another courthouse. This is Hawkinsville, Georgia. After this one, we have another hand-drawn card. It is not a railroad depot, though. It is a courthouse. So stay tuned for that. Courthouse Hawkinsville. This one's not super uncommon. That's an old one for 15. I don't see my exact card, but this one's not going to be crazy. Probably $10 or so. Okay. Yeah, that one sold for, okay, yeah, $10.35. I'm going to do $12.95 and accept offers. The next one is the courthouse, hand-drawn, Homerville, Georgia. Which, again, this person hand-drew postcards when these stores were not selling them. So, theoretically, there should not be a lot of postcards out there, early postcards out there for Homerville. God. Can't speak. Courthouse. Okay, there are, I think that, no, that building looks a little different. I can't tell if it's a different building. It looks similar, but definitely not the same amount of windows. That could just be because the guy didn't draw it completely accurately. Let me just see what old Homerville postcards have sold for. Hopefully we have some comps. Okay, 20 bucks. Well, that one isn't that old. I don't think there's gonna be anything early from Homerville, because there's a reason why my guys hand drawn them, because they're not selling postcards. Okay, somebody sold a depot for 45. I'm gonna price mine at 50 anyway. No, I'll do $39.95. It's still pretty cool. Okay, that might be the last one the hand drawn I have to list today, and the next time I'll be listing, I probably won't be live. So you can look in my store to see the other ones. I think there might be another hand drawn Railroad Depot. I'm not sure. I thought they were really neat though. Courthouse Confederate Monument LaGrange is my next one. This is not a hand drawn card. Okay. $9.99, $9.99. So probably about $10. I meant to bring water up here with me. I don't know why I didn't. I always think that, and I never do it. Especially after I'm done, I always think how nice it would have been to have some water. Another courthouse. This one is Toombs, Georgia. No, Toombs County, but it is Lyons, Georgia. Okay. Nothing really old, although that is the same building. Oh. Okay. That one's an old one. Sold for $9 at auction. I think I can get more. I'm thinking 15 to 20 for this one. Lyons, Georgia is just not that great of a seller, but yeah, that was my card I sold. I'm gonna do $19.95 anyway. It's got the old cars, which I will add to the title. It's a pretty cool card though. The next one is a Macon, Georgia card, but I don't think I've seen it before, so that's why I'm listing it. It's the Cherokee Club building, which I have no idea what that is, but okay, it doesn't look like it's super uncommon. One's up for $5.99, $11.49. I'm just gonna do $5.95. Not think too much about it. Next, another courthouse. This is McRae, Georgia, and it's now McRae, Helena. I guess it joined together with another town. I don't know why, but that's why I put that in my title. Courthouse. Those are both a different building and obviously not as old as mine. There's mine. It's a really not a great quality card because you can barely see through these damn trees. This one's colored, but it's the same. It's from the same picture. $5.99 and $14.95. So probably gonna go $10. Okay, yeah, I'm thinking $10. Okay, Moultrie, Georgia. And that one did look to be a little bit, from when I looked that up earlier, it looked to be a little bit better of a seller. Hotel Colquitt, Moultrie, Georgia. This is the same building? It looks different, but it's also called Hotel Colquitt. But it's in Colquitt County, so another hotel might have taken that name. Okay. Nothing like mine. I have two of these, I think. So I can price them all at the same time. 2 for 1. I always love that. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, the other one's the exact same. I mean, the other one is missing a little bit more, so maybe I'll price it lower. Okay, this one, that's the same. Sold for $32 last year. So I'm just gonna do $34.95 on both of them and let somebody make me an offer. Overall, yeah, these cards have been listed for a pretty good value though. And they're not all winners, but they never can be. Next one is the school in Moultrie, public school, and I have a couple real photos of Moultrie, I think, to list. So we'll see what those go for. School. These are all newer. All newer. At least the postcards are. Okay, somebody paid $16 for that one. I think that's a different building. Okay, public school. Here's the same building. Somebody paid $8.99 and somebody paid $8.50 at auction. That's in terrible condition though. Probably do $14.95. Yeah, 1975 and 2021. That one somebody took an offer of 16. I'll do $17.95 and split the difference. Damn control. God. My mouse just went away. Okay. Now the courthouse, Moultrie, Georgia. I have 2 of these as well, so we'll get another 2 for 1. And then we'll only have 10 postcards left. Or 11 actually, but I'm rounding down. Okay. Nothing old. Okay, yeah, those are the exact same. Love to see it. Okay, 20 bucks, 20 bucks. 20 bucks. Thinking that's gonna be a pretty good price. Yeah, I'm just gonna do. Well, I'll. I don't think that's gonna change anything, but yeah, 20 bucks. 20 bucks. Okay, this is Warrior River. It's in the same county as Moultrie, but it's technically closer to Norman Park, Georgia, so that's what I put in my title. And this is a bridge over Warrior River. I have another Norman Park one to list too. I think that's right, Norman Park. Is that? Yeah, Norman Park. Okay, here's the same one. Sold for $15.99 and $24.99. So I'm thinking 20 bucks. Let's see. I'll just search Norman. Whoops. Okay, let's see what we have out here for Norman Park. Okay, up to 50. I do have a real photo of this, or not that building, but of the Institute. So I'm gonna do $19.95 on the bridge though. Okay, now back to Moultrie. Presbyterian Church, this is a real photo. So big money, big money. No, it's probably, I don't know, maybe I can get upwards of 40 bucks for it, but it's not gonna be crazy. Okay, somebody sold that one for 20 bucks. I think I sold that one actually. Speak of the devil. I'm pretty sure that's my card right there that I sold for 20 bucks. Let me just do RPPC, Moultrie, Georgia. Okay, no RPPCs out there. But Moultrie cards have sold for as much as 90 bucks, 56. I'm going to do $49.95. It's an early RPPC. I know it's a church, but there's no early RPPCs out there for Moultrie. I'll just search Worth Point to be sure. That's not an RPPC. We were almost supposed to get some snow today, and it didn't, and it's been pretty sad. It's snowed twice in a row, or 2 years in a row. It has snowed further south of us, and it's really annoying that we're too far north to get snow, apparently. First Baptist Church, Moultrie, nothing is out here. It looks the same as the Presbyterian Church. Yeah, that's definitely the same building. I guess they converted. Or is it? Oh wait, too far. It looks exactly the damn same. Either they made 2 churches, the exact same architect designed those churches, or I don't know what. Okay, that sold for 30 bucks. Shoot. That is the same, sold for 10 bucks. Oh, brother. Okay. I mean, it's a church. Okay, this is the last Moultrie card I have. What did I price the other ones at? I did $19.95 in the courthouse. I did $17.95 on the school. $34.95 on the hotel. I'm gonna do $19.95. Maybe I could squeeze a little bit more out of it, but also probably not. Okay, this is the square in Nashville, Georgia. I have several Nashville, Georgia cards to list. The Music City, they call it. Okay, nothing out there for Square Nashville, Georgia. It's going to be hard to find Nashville, Georgia because there's a lot of Nashville and Louisville Railroad cards in Georgia, so I'm not looking forward to sorting through all of those and trying to find the town of Nashville, Georgia. But somebody's got to do it. Oh, sorry, I didn't even go to the next card. This is what this one looks like. Nashville, Georgia has sold for $55 for the courthouse. And that is not Nashville, that is not, that is not, that is not, that is not. The City Hall sold for $20. I don't see any early cards from Nashville, Georgia, though. Not early at all. Bolton, I think that's Boston, Georgia. Is there even a Bolton, Georgia? I don't think there is. Let me see. Maybe. Maybe. Oh, there is. Well, development. When did that start? I don't think this. I think it's Boston, Georgia. Anyway, that doesn't even matter. Why am I? Okay, this early Nashville, Georgia card sold for $17.75. This one sold for $15. This one sold for $14. So the early Nashville, Georgia ones don't seem to be selling for a lot. But I'm going to look on WorthPoint and see if there's anything that has. Looking for any excuse to price mine up. Okay, somebody did buy this. That was Nashville, Georgia for $60 in 2018. Again, those are not Nashville, Georgia. Somebody bought the Depot for $100 in 2021. I'm assuming that's Nashville, Georgia. Okay. I mean, I'm going to have a monopoly on early Nashville, Georgia cards. So, I'm just going to price them high. I think they could have gotten more for that card. I'm going to have... I am going to have a monopoly on Nashville, Georgia cards. Okay, I'm just looking at all the ones I have coming up. And I got that one, this one, and the courthouse. And then we move on. So I got, what, 4? Yeah, 4 Nashville, Georgia cards. They have sold for $55 for real photos. So what I'm going to do is price mine in the $50 to $60 range, even though there's not recent comps to support that, but these cards aren't selling that frequently. And I'm hoping that listing these all together, you know, somebody takes an interest. I'm going to do this one of the square at 50, that one at 50, that one at 50. I'm going to do the courthouses. I'm going to do all of them at $59.95, actually. And, I mean, am I going to get that? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe somebody's out there looking for... Like, these cards have never sold, according to eBay and WorthPoint. So, they're really uncommon, and, you know, comps don't really support it, but also these cards haven't been selling, so... Changing all that to ground advantage, and okay, just a few cards left. And these are the cards that didn't scan right. Well, the last 3. This one scanned right. But the last 3 are out of order alphabetically, as I'm sure you'll notice. Norman Park, Georgia. Child labor. All right. Not sure why that's coming up. And this one is a real photo. It's on the screen now. That one sold for $50 in 2023. Oh, jeez. Okay. There's just not a lot out there for Norman Park, especially. I mean, all these others That one's old, but all these others, the newer, new. Not a lot out there for Norman Park, Georgia. Shoot. I think I might go 60. Shoot. What is Norman Park near? Is it Colquitt County? Yeah. Let me see. I'm probably going to go like 64.95, but yeah, no other postcards. It's just hard because nobody's ever sold a real photo from Norman Park, Georgia that I can find. What's near Norman Park? I'm just trying to find something else, like a real photo from the area. Just get a little bit better of an idea of what mine maybe could sell for. Omega, Tifton is the nearest big town. Moultrie, okay. Well, we know Moultrie sells fairly well. So, and Moultrie is also Colquitt County. So chances are there's going to be collector overlap there. And for Moultrie, that one sold for $90. I'm going to do 80. I'm going to try 84.95. And that's kind of a shot in the dark, but with the information I have, it is the best guess, and I do not want to put these up for auction because auctions suck. Okay, only a couple cards left. Thank you all for sticking with me. At least I'm assuming some people have stuck with me. The next is the high school in Moultrie. It is a real photo. I'll just search RPPC, even though I don't think there's going to be anything. Oh god, I'm losing it. No, these are not RPPCs. Okay, and I already have Moultrie pulled up, which is great. Okay, for those, I might just price this one. It's not the best RPPC, but it is an early RPPC, and there aren't any out there. So I'm gonna price mine at the same price as that church, $49.95, and only 2 more postcards left. I'm losing my voice. Somebody let me know in the well, actually, if anybody is still watching, let me know the score of the football game that I should have been watching. No, I like hanging out with everyone, and I didn't have anything better to do, really. I like watching football, but I don't really care about the teams playing, and I like college football more. This is the Clubhouse, Jekyll Island. This isn't. I don't think this one's going to be uncommon, but you never know. You never know. I am not finding an early one of this, at least. Just more modern ones. Only chromes are listed. They spelled Jekyll wrong, which is fairly common. I've seen it spelled wrong on a lot of postcards. Okay. Sold for $34 just last year, so I'm going to do $39.95 and call it a day. Give myself room to take an offer. That's more than I was expecting for that one. That's cool. The next one is probably not going to be that crazy. It's where a Civil War guy was captured in Irwinville, Georgia. It's probably, yeah, maybe $10. I don't know. Okay, Jefferson Davis, Irwinville, Georgia is what I will be searching for. And this is the last card I will be pricing, so thank you all for joining me. Or watching later. And if you're watching this and you're thinking, where have you been for the last few weeks? I've just been really busy. I think I talked about it at the beginning, but hopefully I'll get back to a regular schedule sometime soon. If not, I'll try to do these every now and then. But streaming on YouTube is hard. It's work, and I'm not finding anything for this card. Maybe this card will be a little bit more than I thought. I am not finding anything early from Irwinville, Georgia at all. That's 30s or 40s. This is not really Irwinville, or maybe it is. It's not a postcard. Okay, let me try Worth Point. Okay. Oh, did I already search West Point for Irwinville? I probably did. I need to take a break, which I am about to do. Okay, this is a little bit more difficult one than I thought. I'm gonna search Fitzgerald. I don't think Fitzgerald, since that's also printed on the card, assuming it's pretty close by. Oh my god, tell me how far apart they are. Okay, 10 miles. So Irwinville should be pretty similar to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald's not bad. But I'll do $39.95 on this one. There's nothing really else out there from Irwinville. Again, more of a shot in the dark, but I'm tired. I just want to be done listing. Again, thank you everybody for watching. I hope you all have a good rest of your Sunday afternoon. If you're watching this later, hope you enjoyed watching me list and hope you learned a thing or two. I will try to do videos again when I have the chance, but no promises. I've just been so busy, and it's just a lot of work doing videos, even when I'm doing something that I'm already, like I was gonna list today regardless of whether or not I streamed, but it's just a lot more work doing videos while I'm doing it, because now I'm losing my voice and it just takes a lot longer. But I do like doing videos, and I like hanging out with you all, and hopefully I have more time to do more videos in the future. But thank you all so much for watching. Honestly, I am broadcasting in OBS for the first time, and I was gonna say I don't know how to end it, but I see the end button is right there. So I will end the stream, and I will see you in the next one, whenever that is. Have a good one.